Greetings, friends and fellow cigar box guitar enthusiasts. Del Puckett here, and I have a true story. About 3 years ago, I did some internal arts and crafts type of Christmas fair shows at Intel. And here in Portland, there's 4 Intel campuses: Jones Farms, Aloha, Ronald Acres, and Hawthorne Farms. While I was at the Hawthorne Farms Intel campus doing my holiday Christmas fair cigar box guitar sale, a gal walks up to me. She was an engineer, and she asked me, "Which is your most expensive cigar box guitar?" And I was like, well, and I pointed to the PCB, printed circuit board cigar box guitar. In fact, you can actually probably see that here, maybe, hopefully. And so she goes, "Oh, okay." And then she pulled me aside and said, "So there's this gentleman that he works for the corporate services here, and he's a really nice guy, and I want to buy him this guitar. Now he's gonna protest. He's gonna say no. He's gonna resist and say all this and that. But here's my credit card. Go ahead and run it right now. So it's a done deal, and he can't say no. And then I'm gonna give this to him, and I'm gonna say, okay, sure." So it was kind of an interesting thing that transpired. He was happy and blessed and blown away, as you can imagine. Anyhow, I will refer to this gentleman as Mark. Okay. So me and Mark, we've maintained kind of a loose connection, relationship, friendship. He is a local guy here in town. He comes over every once in a while, and there was a couple of times when that actual guitar had a psycho knob in it, and the psycho knob battery went dead, and he didn't know. In fact, I didn't put a battery access panel. Silly me. Anyhow, so he brought it over and we repaired it, got him up and running, and anyhow, he wanted me to build him another cigar box guitar. I love it when I have return customers. And so I obliged. I absolutely, So this guitar that I'm building now is for Mark, and it will be one of the last cigar box guitars that I will be building in this awesome Cigar Box Guitar Workshop. This is the box he picked, and it has the nice rounded edges here, which offer a little bit of a challenge, and I'll walk you through them here in a little bit. We are going to have an embedded piezo and a volume control, large sound holes, gold corners on the tips. I wanted to show you this neck here. So this neck was originally dark stained black, and then he said, "Well, can we make it blonde to contrast?" And I had already stained it black, so I was all like, "Sure, dude." So I got out the sandpaper and I started sanding it. And what I love when these things happen, in other words, the stain gets in the grooves and in the grain, and sometimes you can't get it all out, but that's actually a cool thing because it gives this layered effect. Like, look at that up here on the top. Now it's going to be hidden by the box here, but just isn't that awesome? Oh my gosh, dude, I love that effect. That half stained, half sanded. It looks like it's just been worn, like right up in here. And so special shaped, hand carved, still got sawdust on it. So that's where we're at right now. This is the box that it's going to be paired with. And so what I'm doing right now is I'm heating up the soldering iron. I'm going to solder up a piezo to it and put the tuners on, maybe the position markers, and then And then what? Button it up, wire it up, or wire it up, then button it up, and then string it up, then tune it up, and then tear it up. So that's where we're at right now. So time for me to shut the camera off and get to work. Okay guys, a quick reminder here. So for these piezos, what I like to do is get one of these bits, dig it out, and I make the hole about that deep, just deep enough. And then I carve a little trough here. And that's just a little ditch here for these wires to go through, and I do that with the Dremel. That's so that the wires can go through underneath the plane here. And then, this is what the piezo looks like before you attach the wires. And I just solder the wire to the piezo. And so I already put the hot glue, the first layer of hot glue on. Now I'm going to do the second layer of hot glue. And then you can use I use a business card or a piece of paper towel or anything. This one here, I'm actually going to use this camo tape here, which has already been cut to the exact right size to cover that. Now the reason for this is so that the hot glue does not stick to the underside of the box when you close it, right? You want there to be positive contact between the piezo and the box lid, so that the sound transfers from the strings through the saddle directly into the piezo. And so this is how I do it. Now I have plenty of videos showing how to do this. The masterclass video series, I will put it up here. Walks you through the entire process. But I did just want to real quick just kind of show you this one here. So now I'm going to put a generous amount of hot glue on the top side. And if you have extra, it's okay, because you can just cut it off or let it spill out and over. Not a big deal. Whatever piece of paper you're going to use, just put it right on there. You got a little bit of time. It's about maybe 30 seconds of time before it actually starts getting hard. Now make sure all your wires are inside so that the box lid closes perfectly. And then give her a smash. And so by virtue of the fact that I'm smashing it now, I'm ensuring that the underside of this box top is going to be flush and smooth with the top side of the piezo through the hot glue. And I always like to feel right here, because I can feel that heat coming through. That tells me that I have positive contact. And again, the purpose of that tape is just to keep the hot glue from sticking to the underside of the cigar box top. Ta-da! And you see I got a little bit of spillage there. I can clean that out, no big deal. No big deal. And that's what it looks like. Beauty, eh? Too right, mate, too right. All right, my lunch break is nearly over. So it's time for me to get back to work. But I did want to show you the progress that we had made so far. We got the gold tuners, but I opted for the black bushings there. We got the bolts or long screws. These are the long screws because I had to go through a lot of material. Oh yeah, I did want to show you. So I had one of these curved jack plates, and so I spray painted it gold to match the gold everywhere else. So that's going to go really well. The thing is that I had to really do a wide hole here because of the thickness of that guy is solid. So in order for me to get this guy to fit in there, I had to drill it out large enough for that guy to fit in there. So now what I'm going to do now is just attach the jack to the jack plate and then insert it in there. And then last but not least, I opted for a surface mount style humbucker to go here. And of course I did spray paint that black as well. So I think it's going to look quite nice when it's all said and done. So maybe I'll be able to finish this up tonight. I'm not counting on it, but I am hopeful. After a long day of work, it's finally evening. It's dark outside. And it's going to be dark inside. Inside here, because I'm spray painting the inside of this thing so that when the doors close, it's just dark in there. What a great idea. Thank you. We are opting for this flat surface mount pickup. So I drilled a little hole. First I measured where the wood is coming over here, and I centered it up. Remember, I got my little pigtail on here, so that tells me exactly where the center is going to be for the strings, because I want this pickup to be right underneath the strings. And so I drilled my little hole, routed my wire through the little hole. Next I'm going to hot glue it in place and then screw this down. And now I strategically put this thing so that this is going to be right in the center of the logo, which is going to be cool, because if it was over here, then it'd be interfering with the sound holes, the little screws here. So actually having it right here is going to be a win-win. So I'm going to heat up the hot glue, glue that guy in place, and then screw the cover in place. That's next. Yeah, so check that out. Isn't that awesome? And that's the perfect height too. And then also this guy is perfectly contoured as well to match the curve of the... Alright, so now I need to attach my hinge, ground it, and then get to soldering. Oh, it's on, dude. Trust me. I'll show you. I'll prove it to you. Ready? Watch this. Just kidding. And do you remember the problems I was having with the with my I got a dead battery. Dead battery. Never mind. I'll use my other one. I got two of these things. Here's the dead battery. Here's the other one. So hopefully there's a good battery in this one. Off and then on. Yay. And whenever it's all dusty like that, this is what you do to clean it off. Sorry about that. Okay, so you remember the problem I was having with these hinges? That I wasn't getting continuity to jump across this little middle part? And I said that I was going to have to go get some contact cleaner. So you can see here, whenever it's on the same side, I get continuity. And then when I would jump across here, I would get no continuity. So what I do is I went and got me some contact cleaner. So I get this contact cleaner and I just give it a little something something, little wiggle wiggle wiggle, and you can see the you can actually see the stuff dripping from it. It's dark black tarnished stuff. And yeah, this stuff evaporates pretty quick too. It dries up pretty fast. And so now, same thing. This is where I need an extra hand. So I'm going to do one side here. Hold it up so you can see it. And then the other side here. And I have continuity. Yep, so this stuff works pretty good. Contact cleaner. All right, we got it soldered up. So I'm going to point out some things here. So right off the bat, the ground wire and the hot lead come out, and all my grounds are tied together here. So I need to cap that off so it doesn't touch anything. My piezo comes to one side of the switch right here. My humbucker comes to the other side of the switch, and there is a ground wire from this guy here that also goes. The ground wire is grounded to the back of the chassis of this thing. So the hot lead goes to this little tab here of this switch, and then the ground wire goes to here, and then I have this one here jumpered from the chassis of here, the ground here, to here. And I also have this leg of the potentiometer also grounded to the chassis. And then I also have this ground wire also. This one here goes to the universal, or the terminal that all ground wires all go to this guy right here. Every one of them. And I also have one that comes through here that grounds the hinge. Kind of goes diagonal through here. So I have the switch, the piezo, and then the humbucker on either side of the switch. The output of the switch is the center one. Let's see if you can see there. This center one right here. And the center one here goes to the first tab of the potentiometer. The middle tab, this red one, that's all stretched. Doing, 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 doing. That one goes to the jack. So that's pretty much it right there. Now I am going to test this thing out. Now this is how I test it out. I've already tested it out, so I know that it works, but I want you guys to see how I test it out here. So what I do is I dial up an obnoxious sound on the amp. Remember, when the switch is here, that's piezo. So I just scratch this guy. I can go check, check, microphone check. Is there anybody in there? And what I like to do is go. That's how I know the piezo's working. And then also the volume. Nothing. Volume up. So I know my volume's working. So I'm going to leave my volume up. Now I'm going to go to the humbucker. Many ways to check the humbucker. One of them is to get the soldering iron near it. The other one is to get the drill near it, or the other one. Heck, even the Dremel. And I like test my hinge. Okay, so I'm perfectly grounded everywhere. Oh. And then of course if it's in the middle here I get piezo, which is, and so ladies and gentlemen, this electronics has been hooked up successfully. And then of course, in keeping with the gold theme, we get these little gold corners. And they go perfectly here on the end. And I get this tiny, tiny, tiny little drill bit. This is the smallest little drill bit I can find. And just barely get it started. Then get one of these tiny little screws that go in the tuner backs. And tiny little screwdriver that's got the perfect size head for it. And you want to be careful, you don't want to strip these guys. It's easy to strip them. So you just want to get them snug. So if you ever want to take this guitar apart and open the box, you're going to have to take off these corners. Now each corner is going to have 3 screws, 1, 2, and 3. So 3 times 8. 3 times 8 is 24. So you got to take off, well, you won't have to take off the bottom ones. You'll only have to take off the top ones. So that's 3. Yeah, 3 times 4 is 3 times 4 is 12. So you'll have to take off 12. 3, 6, 9, 12 in order to take and open the top after you've taken the strings off. For the saddle, I got a nice piece of rosewood. Measured it to be the perfect height. For the strings. And then carved it to have contours. And then put a fret on it. And then I'm dressing the edge of this fret just like I would all the other frets, where I take off the edges. And then I'm feeling it and make sure that it's nice and smooth. Especially because when you're doing palm muting, you know, you're playing and you don't want to feel any bumps or burrs right there. So I get it as smooth as I can with the file. And then I get my 300 grit. In this case here, 320 grit sandpaper, and just polish the ends there so they're nice and smooth. Then I'm going to go back and stain this thing black so that it matches the box. Well, there it is. Just a light coat of this black stain. Wax on, wax off, and man, look at that thing, just pops, dude. Oh my gosh. So now we're going to string it up. Actually, before we string it up, I got the old doornail out. And put it into the end of this soldering iron. So that sucker's hot. And now we're going to burn in the position markers. This one here I don't measure, I just eyeball it. So sometimes I get it wrong. Sometimes I'm all. So here we go. On your marks, get set, go! Yeah, you don't want to be on the wrong fret, because that would suck. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? Yes, sir. That's legit, my friend. Legit. Dumber than a doornail. Or is it deader than a doornail? Man, I love the way that looks. That just makes it official. You know what I'm saying? Official. Yes, sir. All right, we are strung up and strung out. So I am tuned E, B, E, and this is the 44, 34, and the 26 wound. Oh yeah, and last but not least, the gold knob to finish off the gold everything. Okay, so now, of course we have the piezo, the middle, and the humbucker. Here's the settings on the amp. Turn up a little bit. About the piezo. Wow. Wow, that piezo's got some spank, doesn't it? And then, of course, the both. Try to play something intelligent here. I don't know if I can do it. reverb. Let's see here. How about the spring reverb? Let's keep spinning the knobs here. How about a T echo? Tape echo, that's what the T stands for. All right, I turned up the chorus and I turned up the delay. This is the way it sounds. What an interesting sound, my gosh. Here's an interesting sound. I got the tremolo. So that's tremolo. Now I'm going to match the delay to the tremolo. Dun, 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 dun. So I turn up the delay. Dun, 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 dun. So I tap tempo the delay. So I get, and so the delay isn't the same as the. So now isn't that strange? That is cool. Then I get a real long delay. And one of my favorite chords to play is called a ninth chord. So it starts off with a double bar. My index finger is catching the top string and the middle string. And then my pinky, or your ring finger, but I'm going to use my pinky, is going to catch the high string 2 frets above. And whatever note this is, that's the root of the chord here. So in this case here, that would be A9. This would be G9. This here would be D9, E9. B9, A9, G. And if I wanted to do the open string, it would look like this. Beautiful sounding chords, man. Seriously. The ninth chord. And finally unplugged. If you like these videos, chances are you are a cigar box guitar enthusiast. So you might as well make it official and become a subscriber. And don't forget there are links above and to the bottom and to the side over here and also below in the video description. Guys, we will see you in the next video. Cheers.